What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. We're about to go explore this temple. You already see, looking forward, we got some bandits in here. So they're gonna have words for us, contesting for the loot. We did pick up most of our companions that we had to pick up here. We are gonna get one more real soon, but that's not important for now. Dipping in here is pretty important, because inside this little tomb here that they're raiding is where we're gonna get our respec mechanic, which comes in very clutch. I think I did fix our issues with the audio balance. I did notice again that the game sounded a little quiet on default, so I just turned it all the way up. It's all the way up now, so I guess we'll see how that fares for us.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Go ahead and dip in here.
You! Not another step, hear me? Boss! Got company up here!
What's this then? Trying to creep around us and loot the crypt? Not happening. Or is it the ship you're after? Don't matter either way. It's ours. All of it.
Ooh, we'll see about that. One thing I really like about Drow is they tend to have really, really cool dialogue options. Like, look at this intimidate option down here. The only thing you own is your life. Leave before I take that too. Let's see if we can get this roll. We just looked it out with the guidance.
Well, in that case, come on, you lot. No point in getting killed. Second worm gets the cheese and all.
Second mouse gets the cheese, no?
Nobody's getting any damn cheese. Now move it.
I don't get it twisted. These people aren't living regardless of any of this. I just like the dialogue option. They don't get to live. Alright, Asterion. Asterion is going to be our big DPS burster for these situations. We have the mage back here. It's 90%, but there's a disadvantage. Let's see what he can do with the mage. Beautiful double attack there. Now that dual wield mod is working for Asterion too. It's a little OP actually, but see, here's why I like Gale being divination. So we weren't gonna hit here. We had a critical miss, but if we spend a die, we still hit. Divination mages can make a huge impact on the way combat goes.
All that matters.
We have a bonus action. Let's hit him with Halo of Spores. Good enough. I want to pull us back a little bit.
I don't fancy their chances.
Move Gale up. Magic Missile is really cool because it basically has 100% chance to hit no matter what. And I put Sleep on, didn't I, instead of Magic Missile? I did. Alright, that's a little problem. Immune to sleep. How many hit points? Alright, so since we can't do what I wanted, let's grease him up. Beautiful, we got him prone.
Can't give up.
Now Shadowheart can come through. And I believe grease is an explosive. We'll see. It is. Beautiful. Nice little chunk of AoE damage. Now she's gonna try and run up. Gale is not immune to sleep. It's nice that it adds the burning effect to them too. When he wants to give Asterion the smoke. Oh my god. Let's do... Now you can only do these attacks when you have advantage, and it looks like he doesn't on any. Disengage Asterion and move him back. Now he can. Beautiful.
Another fight. Let's go. Another day.
This guy should probably be our priority here. Halo Spores. Beautiful damage, right?
Let's end this.
Alright, Shadowheart. I need you to wake up Gale. Probably make her heal herself at this point. in a bad way thanks to that crit hit from this guy.
What fools these mortals be.
Gale, you're at 36%. What if we back up? Now we're at 60. I'll take those odds. Beautiful. Now the main threat is out of the way. We just gotta worry about the mage down here.
little help, please.
Tried to move her far enough out of the disengage range so she wouldn't get hit by that, but this should finish her off regardless. Nice and easy. And at that, we'll take our first short rest. Get everybody back into tip-top fighting shape. I had a shovel for us. There's going to be a lot of looting in this game because these little food items, you need those to rest to get your points back. And I'm going to be resting a lot because I'm not exactly the best Baldur's Gate player in the world. I'm going to be taking a lot of rests. So I'm going to need the fuel for that.
Time and the elements have left the plaque unreadable.
One cool thing about the shovel is buried deep under the ground in various locations on the map are these little hidden treasures. And you gotta pass a survival check to see them. Although a cool little tip for this, if you're ever wandering around and you see that little survival check but you fail it, if you dig where you failed it, you'll still get the chest. You don't actually have to pass the check in order to loot the chest. Maybe this one I miss sometimes, so we'll see. I know where a couple of them are. Right, so they passed it, but you see how we failed it right as we were on top of it? If we just went in here and used the shovel, we would have still gotten the loot. As long as you keep an eye on where you failed the check, you're still A-okay. Lock-picking materials. That's going to be good for Astarion once we head inside this tomb. I was thinking, too, that maybe I would play another game alongside this one. Since Baldur's Gate is going to be such a journey, I mean, it's going to be a lot of episodes. Probably going to end up being the highest episode listed on my channel, so I was thinking to keep things fresh, so it's not just Baldur's Gate content for the next month. I'll play another game alongside it. I'm thinking maybe the Space Marine games. I own both, but I've never played them, so I thought that could be interesting. Dip into some Warhammer material, which I also don't know anything about, so that'll be cool to kind of learn that. Now let's see if we can get tricky here with the doorman.
Thank you, Gibblebuck. Everything all right out there?
Let's see if we can deceive him. Gimblebuck triggered some trap. He needs help now. We nailed it. Beautiful.
Oh, I told him it wasn't safe out there. Get inside and I'll rustle up some bandages.
The mischievous grin.
I'm ready.
And he was so kind to let us ride on in. Let's go introduce ourselves.
Who the hell? You're dead!
No, you.
Look again.
Beautiful. And he was surprised, so he had a really big disadvantage in that fight anyway. Okay. Gotta start spreading some of the weight around here. We don't have much strength, so we're gonna be pretty low on carry capacity.
Very well.
Gotta be careful with that. If you weigh too much, you end up with disadvantage on things.
Only dust and silence.
Ancient, indecipherable text.
I'm done.
A dead tongue. Whoever worshipped here must be long gone.
A looter's trunk. Lots of tasty food here. And bandits kindly served dinner for us. The supply plaques are the most important thing you can get out of all this. Those are going to give you 40 supplies at a time. You do want to make sure you yoink all this. Here's a cool little Easter egg for anybody who's played the Divinity Original Sin series. It's a portrait of Faerûn. A Skullbro from Divinity. Trash loot. Big coins. Alright, let's put our torch away for this. And turn this off. We do not want to get caught out. Hold on, what did I do here? Oh, my mistake. I accidentally equipped the torch in our weapon slot. Now we can just pull it out. Alright. So I want everybody to crouch here. Split the party with G.
Let's have some fun.
Make sure everybody's obscured. I'm gonna try and get a little cheeky with this character.
Silent as the grave.
Hit it with the stealth attack. I'll hit a port and die. The main reason I used the port and die there instead of taking it how we could have otherwise is because if you don't kill her in time and do it stealthily, she's gonna go wake her friends up in there. We do not want her friends to come on down and join the fun.
Lies before me.
Party's kind of invitation only. Dense rows of scrolled text, the few legible entries seem to detail the names and final words of numerous individuals. Come see this, its move, Majpina, laboratory explosion. Troth Cress, waylaid in a Neverwinter alley. The fact that was the last word is hilarious. You're blocking my light, Donna Ree, Watered Havian Featherlung. Is a terribly disappointing last word. That's, you know, you want kind of last words that are badass. Like, you'll never take me alive, something like that. Ancient scroll. Though a bloom of mold has leached the ink from most of the scroll, its beginning is still legible. The sealing ritual. Our god cares not for petty ritual. There is only the sealing, and it is vital that we observe it with exacting reverence. On the day of the sealing, a mixture of bone and ash is consecrated. Upon the names of the dead we spread the offering, imbuing the ink with the essence of death of our god. There's some hint to the undead language of whatever worship is going on here. And here's an oil barrel. Shadowheart, I think you have the strength to grab this. We'll yoink that and send it back to camp. We might need those to get a little cheeky later, but I'll touch on that if we ever actually end up using them. I have a particular fight in the first chapter in mind that we might use those for. A rustic chest. Now, a lot of this does end up just being trash loot, but if you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you know I have gigantic loot brain for almost everything, so yeah, business as usual. Let's cut these lamps. We want it to be dark out here because we're gonna get cheeky again with the stealth damage. Get ready to crouch. Split the party. The Starian's gonna mosey on in here. I put him in a position where he can make the magic happen. He got a decent chunk of damage there. That's not as high as I would have wanted it to be. And now that we started the business, we could do whatever we like with the rest of these people. We just have Shadowheart mosey on down. Who do we want Shadowheart to attack? Shadowheart? You'd like to attack him. She's gonna get seen, but she'll run in and attack anyway. Oh no, she got caught. A little short. Okay. Alright, what are you doing, Shadowheart? 70% on him. And the miss. That's unfortunate.
I can't waste any more time.
Let's move our character in. Hopefully we have a little better luck with this.
These boots have seen it.
Gonna cross him through. Adding successful. You'll love to see that.
No time for
He's gonna
mercy.
attack this guy. We had advantage on it, of course. See if we can hit him with a topple. Beautiful. He's down and out for the next phase of the fight, at least the next turn. He's gonna have to use a bunch of his points to get up. Right, what are we doing with you, Gale? I can't believe I put sleep on instead of magic missile. Rookie mistake. Let's have Gale kill this guy.
Don't too close.
Move you behind the pillar.
Let's spill some blood.
And we should be good on our turn right here. And you see how strong the surprise mechanic is, which is why I invested instantly into alert so that doesn't happen to us.
What now?
Alright, who do we want to give the smoke?
What
Mover.
lies before me?
Can't reach you with Halo of Spores, but we can with Chill. The Bone Shield stops them from healing, I believe. Leave that there. Gale, you want to hit him with a fireball. Gambling on the 65.
Indeed.
And Shadowheart, now it's finally your turn. So we can bonk. 55. What do we want to do with him? Let's give him a bonk. Ah, he got the save on the smash. Now he might end up being a problem. Shadowheart is capable of tanking some things, so it's not the end of the world. Gale, however, not capable of tanking anything. He unfortunately gave himself disadvantage for our stealth attack, so have Asterion do that. Should die from that. Yep.
Well, so much for peace.
Let's get Gale before he bleeds out. Let's get him up. I guess we'll use our spellcasting abilities a little. Give him some heals so he doesn't just keel over next round.
Praise assured.
Move you to like a safe distance, actually. Give you some cover from that. Now, Shadowheart is in a very interesting predicament because if she misses this attack, she's going to be in a world of trouble. Yes, she's in a world of trouble now. Athletics failed. He's going to have a bad day next round. Yeah, I thought so.
Let's turn someone inside out.
Gotta get this guy dead. There we go. Now let's pick Shadowheart up. There we go. And that's gonna be our second rest.
Much farther can I...
Thankfully, the bulk of this place is over now, so I don't have too much to worry about. Journey through the jungle. The sun had just fallen below the horizon when I first heard its call. 1,000 reed pipes at once, whistling a single beautiful, terrible song. Ulu Thalong, said Jor. It's coming. Jor dropped her pack and scurried up the nearest biter. With a bit more effort, I climbed a tree of my own, and the two of us surveyed the grassy ground beneath. Ow, there it was again, above and beneath and all around, so close my skull vibrated from the sound. The ferns and foliage under me rippled and swayed. Jor held a finger to her lips to demand my silence, and in one motion, it snatched her. A vine, a tentacle, it hardly mattered. The hunter had found its prey. Jor's screams swelled, then faded as Ulu Thalong dragged her away. I leapt down to give chase, but the creature left no mark behind. The grasses were untrampled, the shrubs unbroken. I had only the memory of that harrowing call to guide me.
You do not recognize the language on the plaque.
Jor had a very bad day. Fine dust coats the pages of this weathered book. Beneath the bone-white powder, hundreds of short obituaries are recorded in tiny script. Grobian Tipple, Ilmater, drowning. Ivain Arkanson, Ogma, internal rot. Devrin Stout, Saluna, fever. Recordings of death. Now it seems here that we have a survivor. Let's take care of that. Well, since crying over spilled bandits. And we finally hit our encumbered rate, so we gotta clean up some of this. Let's sort this to weight. I'll start spreading the love around for this. There's no wonder I ended up over encumbered when you look at all the armor pieces I have here. We only have a 140 carrying capacity thanks to a strength level being so low. Part of the problem of having your main character not be a barbarian or a paladin is you should really be picking up loot with your off characters. In life, her service had been impeccable. Daily she devoted herself to the Lady of Loss. Daily did she free herself from the tyranny of memory. All, in time, was lost to her. Her relations, her preferences, even her own name. Upon the altar of her devotion placed she the ultimate offering, her emptied mind. And when she did, when she awoke in death and found herself standing in the pale and faded city of judgment, she waited for the Lady of Loss to retrieve her. 1,000,000 souls and more passed her in colorless gusts, but no hand materialized in her hand. No voice whispered instruction in her ear. No guidance proffered itself from the bleached and barren sky. Time, immaterial time, passed around her like air, coming and going. And still, the goddess did not come for her devotee. Kelemvor pitied her, as much as the Lord of the Dead is able, but could not intervene. This cleric of the Lady of Loss, unclaimed despite her worthiness, might yet have one more lesson to learn. That not of forgetting, but being forgotten. A lot of those little stories about the Lady of Loss is actually going to be quite relevant to our story here later on once we find out some things. I've actually never read through all the different books and dialogues in this game. I think that'll be quite interesting to do, really. I think we have any... Yeah, let's put those on. Do we have any gloves equipped currently? I'm grabbing all these just to sell later on. We won't be using any of them. We certainly can't be throwing spears around as our class. I need the candle.
That might be worth a look. What did that do?
What did that do indeed? We used all our short rests so far getting through this place, so... we're just gonna have to hope Shadowheart can make the magic happen.
Right. What now?
She might have a rough time of it, but once we get done here, we're heading to camp anyway, so... as long as she can get through this next part, she's good. Let's put our torch on so we can see what we're doing. Plenty of chests. Again, we want to take all these so that we can sell it when we get to our first hub.
Yes. I'm getting a distinct whiff of Crypt. Undisturbed, too.
Distinct whiff of Crypt. I would say that smelling like a crypt inside here is pretty accurate. We are definitely in a crypt. On Death and Resurrection. An excerpt from the ongoing metatext, rebound by Iosefa Elgin, a scholar excommunicated from the Church of Dania for her heretical efforts to reconstruct the metatext, a god's annal of lost and hidden knowledge. Of what value is a life? Far too esoteric a topic to warrant any serious critical consideration between these pages, surely. Or so it would seem at first glance. But once we push aside the mysticism and dewy-eyed sentiment so often clouding our assessment, it is clear that across all the spinning planes, each and every life does indeed have a quantifiable value. It is simply that not all are equally valuable. Consider. We already know that the destruction of our material form is not the end. If anything, our souls are more free after death, transcending planar barriers in search of a resting place that best befits our deeds, beliefs, and station in life. But even this assessment is subject to market forces. Lord Kelemvor weighing our souls against how thoroughly we have given them over to the gods, empowering them in turn. There is, of course, an alternate route, not the end of the path, but the chance to retread it. Clerics across the realms wield the power to return life to any soul deemed worthy or willing enough. It is strange, then, that these so frequently intersect with those deemed wealthy enough, for the components for such a spell are beyond the means of most mortals. I have interviewed those who have made such a return, and in truth have found them to be of the most dull and unimaginative sort that I cannot possibly imagine what it is they were so eager to return to. If a true assessment of the journey is to be made, then there is simply no replacement for embarking upon it oneself. Perhaps, one day, this great volume of learning will make me worthy enough to walk that path, and wealthy enough to return. But she was excommunicated from her scholarship for studying death.
Traps.
Beautiful, Asterion. I was waiting for you to get that check. Now he's gonna be cracked out of his mind for these little checks thanks to this modded gear set, so I doubt we'll be missing any of these trap disarms. It would take a miracle to miss it, honestly. We needed a 10 and we got a 30.
Let's be quick.
If anything, his perception checks might be what get in the way. Go ahead and disarm the sarcophagus, because inside here we have a great weapon for Shadowheart that we want. Could be Shadowheart's mainstay weapon, actually. Critical success. And we have the Watcher's Guide. Death's Promise. When the spear misses its target, the wielder's next attack roll against that target gains True Strike. Send that over to Shadowheart.
A trap.
Now this place can turn into quite the shit show. But I like to send Astarion in here alone. He has the least odds of screwing any of this up, so... You have a soul coin. Strange, incomprehensible whispers emanate from this coin, pervading your mind with rage and despair.
A strange coin. I wonder what it's worth.
We'll send that over to our main character.
A trap.
I don't know if we can
Doesn't like visitors.
trust Astarion with this kind of stuff. His moral code is definitely dubious enough to be suspect. There's a button right there that we'll need later. But we aren't done looting up yet. Goes to Shadowheart.
A trap. Someone doesn't like visitors.
Now we're not going to bother dismantling all these traps because as far as I know, you don't actually get XP for disarming traps. I think you should, but you don't. So we'll lockpick this door while we're here too.
Symbol.
This takes us back outside to where we first came on the beach. So we don't really need it, but I'd like to unlock it still. We might need to make a run back at some point. And we're gonna hit this switch. Boink.
Shouldn't have
And
rushed
group everybody back up and go back here.
times. Let's see. At the ready.
Now one thing we might actually struggle with inside here is
What's in here?
there's a book that I'm gonna try and pass some checks on, but
But no sign of a
I don't know if we'll get them the first time.
I wonder what was so subversive about their words that they commanded protection.
We're gonna leave everything dark for reasons you'll see later. Nothing wrong with some light obscurity. Yeah, there's a book inside here that I want to pass some checks for, but I don't know if we'll hit them the first time. I've had to save scum this a bunch, but I actually don't want to save scum this series. If I can avoid it.
Looks like someone wanted to bury that series.
Let's see.
This book is far lighter than it should be with such a massive lock.
It did give us some points in Arcana, I believe, so get guidance from Shadowheart. Roll the dice. We got it. Beautiful. Not done yet though, there's a couple of checks we'll have to pass after.
As the lock opens, a loose page comes with it. Magic pulses from the parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what?
Let's see if we can pass this check. We have religion proficiency. We might get it. It's only a 10. Yeah, we nailed that one too. Beautiful.
Gods. These are the names of gods, once lost but now restored after the Second Sundering. The last 3 names in this book sit close together, but are so devastated by the scroll as to be unreadable. Entire pantheons have dwindled and been reborn, silently recorded by this book.
Now, Book of Dead Gods seems like something we'd want to hang on to, so... Names of dead gods, most of them unfamiliar and unpronounceable, fill the pages of this ancient tome. Several entries on the last page have been stricken through, the final 3 thoroughly enough to be completely illegible. And we'll learn more about those 3 things much, much later. Some XP and inspiration for our actions, I'd gladly always take that. Alright, now we're on to the final section of this little dungeon here, and what I am going to suggest you do is get everybody crouched, get the party split, and we are going to go position our teammates. Now, Shadowheart, being that she's the weakest, we're going to have her pull this switch and set this trap. And we'll drop our guy back here.
Smells tasty.
Starion is going to slink on down here and hide behind this tomb.
Let's get this over with.
And Gale, we'll put Gale, we'll move him up a ways. I wonder, where can we hide you, Gale? Where can we hide you that you won't get caught? We'll try and sit him in this corner, maybe, behind this pillar.
What's next, I wonder?
And then we'll use Shadowheart to go clear this.
I must keep
You
going.
can stand up now. She's the weakest one, so we'll put her
I'd
up there as the bait. Somebody's got to do it. Unfortunately, Shadowheart is the one that got it.
I didn't think anyone worshipped the Scribe of the Dead.
And that's what God's tomb we're in.
The inscription is in a language unknown to you.
A god named Jurgle, the Scribe of the Dead. It makes sense, right? With the book that was documenting dead gods. Basically in a tomb for the Grim Reaper. Now, for somebody who actually doesn't know anything about D&D, or I think this is 5e, right? 5th edition, I believe. For somebody who knows absolutely nothing about that, I do think the game does a pretty good job of explaining the law and the rules.
What's that?
I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of some things. Probably not as good as veterans who've played those games for years, but... And here come the dead scribes. But unfortunately for them, we have our own checkmates in place for this. So, Starion, if you'd be so kind. That's one problem taken care of. Move you behind this pillar. Gale, brought you here for a reason, friend. Fire seems like it would work well against the undead, right? Let's try and keep you in somewhat of a safe position. And now my main character... Let's see if we can polish this dude off. Beautiful, we can. And Shadowheart is a little worse for wear, but... 40% chance to hit, we can take it. Yeah, I'll take it. She had a 40% chance. Move her back into safety. He's eager for Shadowheart. Blinded me with Fog Cloud. Alright, Shadowheart, let's see. Sacred Flame on an undead. Sacred Flame has a very finicky nature to me. Most of the time I just cannot get it to land. Have an advantage, but we can just double up. Should have broke the concentration. Yep.
Never a dull moment.
Those area effect spells all tend to be concentration based, so most of the time
Try me.
you can easily break those by just attacking the person that cast it and kind of free yourself from that. I love the little animation on the Halo of Spores kill. Right, we have this guy back here. Bone chilling, but yeah, he's an undead, so he might honestly be immune to bone chill. Don't have the range for the whip, the range for poison spray. We're not proficient with the bow that we're using, but I suppose I could just shoot it at him regardless.
A rough tempest I will raise.
Alright, Gale. Can we slump an undead? Yeah, can't target undead. Witch Ball, Thunder Wave. Close enough. 85 on that. I'm very happy that he missed that attack. A fog cloud is not going to save you like you wished it would.
Got to press on.
Move Shadowheart away from this. I'm going to back her up.
I'm ready.
Starion, if you'd be so kind. Try and get some of the heat off Shadowheart here with the Starion. Love the crit hits.
Where do I go from here?
Yeah, we're not gonna be close enough to do what I want. How about this? There we go. Broke his fog cloud nonsense. Finish him with a flurry. Nice. Beautiful.
Unleash me. Step to it.
Unleash you? Gale, my guy. You're a little worse for wear. And move him up so I can at least do something next round if we don't get him right away.
Bleeding fast. I need healing.
Man throwing rocks. Bonk him.
Go for the throat.
Don't have an advantage. You can just have him attack with the daggers anyways. Have him back up.
With haste.
You likely don't have anything that has the range to mess with him. Let's just see if Bone Chill works. It does.
Gone
Perfect.
with the weave.
Now, Gale, I need you to do your job here. I need you to land this attack, okay? Of course he didn't. This guy is locked in on Shadowheart. 45% chance. Roll the dice.
I missed this.
And that'll be him.
Rising from the dead should protect some dusty old balls.
Beautiful.
Moving ahead.
Now, my whole party is a little worse for wear, though.
I may as well feel sorry for a breadbasket.
Let's see his opinion on undead.
What's inside?
What do you say? May as well feel sorry for a breadbasket. I'm surprised Shadowheart has any kind of empathy. This one was locked into her the whole fight.
The sunset can't come quickly enough.
Let's go see what was so important to guard in here.
One sarcophagus.
The Amulet of the Lost Voices, which gives us Speak with Dead, which we definitely won. We can take that to the beach and see if we can talk to some survivors and see how they ended up dying on the beach. Alright, let's see what this whole thing was about.
Here lies the guardian of tombs. Through knowledge comes atonement.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me. Right, as always. What a curious way to awaken.
You tell me.
Now, I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life?
A peaceful undead. Interesting. Why aren't you attacking me?
Because that would be senseless.
Your friends outside didn't seem to think so.
My question.
Yes, ask away.
So, I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal life?
The book we read earlier actually touched on some philosophy on that question too. Depends on the mortal, I think is actually quite true.
I am curious by what standards thou shalt judge. Very well. I am satisfied. We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place. Farewell.
Ominous.
We have nothing more to discuss. Continue on thy way, as if I were not here. I must attend this place after so many years away. We will see each other again soon.
Soon is rather vague. When exactly?
When the time is proper. I do not know that hour any more than dost thou. But I do know that the longer thou standest here, the farther away our second meeting becomes.
He's got some jabs. Got some sass in him. Scroll of false life. Yeah, the whole what value does a single mortal life have? I know a lot of people among popular belief is that everybody is equal and all that stuff. Now, I do believe all men are made equal. Like, granted, a fresh life all has the same value because you're all starting at the same basis. But I think undeniably, for example, a law-abiding citizen who's been through his life, he's done good, he's a just person, is undeniably has more value in his life than like a mass murderer that doesn't care about other humans, right? I think there's some nuance to what kind of value a human life has. Like, you wouldn't cry over spilled Jeffrey Dahmer, but you might cry over some, like, philanthropist who's been helping people for 60 years, you know? I think undeniably, if you put that on a scale, then one is worth much more than the other. Right, so that is all we needed to get done. But I would like to head on back down to this beach. Zip on down. The main reason I want to do that is because I want to speak to one of these villagers. Which one? This one had the letter. We could try him. Invalid target. I can talk to this fisher.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Who are you?
Ellie. Fisherwoman.
Elturel? Are we close to the city?
No. Upriver. Too far.
How did you die?
Chased elf. Brains chased me.
She chased an elf? An elf? What elf did you chase? Valid target. She chased an elf. Well, it wasn't Shadowheart, because Shadowheart was up the beach with us. Perhaps Asterion. Was she chasing Asterion?
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Who are you?
Marcus. Fisherman.
Did anyone survive the crash?
Woman. Beautiful. Couldn't look away.
Where did the woman go?
Went west. Others followed. Couldn't help themselves.
Interesting. Were there any other survivors?
Elf. Ran north. Up the beach.
What were you doing here?
Saw the crash. Came quick. Trying to help folk.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
So he was following a beautiful elf. I do not recall any beautiful elves. I mean, Shadowheart excluded, but she's a half elf. And she was unconscious down the beach, so nobody was following her. See if this one has any information. Invalid target, okay. Yeah, they chased a beautiful elf, and one of them went north. North is up this way, so that's towards the tomb where we just were. Valid. Valid. Just one more to check. Also invalid. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I guess we won't be getting to the bottom of that anytime soon. Abducted nobleman we can have chats with.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
What happened to you?
Guiding my cart. Shadow fell. Tentacle grabbed me. Took me here. Put something in my eye.
I think you got off pretty lucky. Do you know why any of us were taken?
No. Took everyone. Peasants. Lords. Took them all.
They put something in my eye too. Can we get rid of it?
Find healer. Or die. It'll leave.
Suppose that's what happened to him. Your body will attract scavengers. Should I bury you?
Let them come.
You'd rather just get munched on. Do you have anything valuable?
They took me. Took everything.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Yeah, I already know how he died, given his surroundings. I don't need to ask that. No wonder.
The corpse has nothing to say.
I was gonna say, can we chit-chat to a dead Mind Flayer? That could have been a potentially interesting conversation. Yeah, the Speak with Dead feature is really cool. We actually have a lot of cool features going on because we also have Speak with Animals, so we can talk to corpses now, and we can talk to animals. We have a lot of good options here. Now, this seems like a pretty good place to up sticks and go back to camp, so let's head on back. Alright, now we're in camp. That is going to be a wrap for this one, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is, of course, a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Baldur's Gate 3. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.